And that, brother, is the whole thing where you start learning to think bigger, and you realize that like your small thoughts will keep you captive to a small life, and you got to think bigger.
Yeah, and I think that framework, or whatever that number is to your listener, like put that into perspective, because opportunity costs and getting distracted and whatever that is, it could be 6 figures for someone else, 5, it could be, if in the billionaire's room, which the room we all want to be in, it might be, 9, 10, right? So whatever that is, right? So that's very interesting. I appreciate you sharing that. And again, that's what the lab is all about.
And like you said, the billionaire room, I love what Dave Ramsey says. He's like, when I hung out with 100-aires, I was 100-aire. When I hung out with 1,000-aires, I was 1,000-aires. He's like, now I'm a multimillionaire and I'm working to hang out with billionaires. And and I think about that all the time. I'm like, man, will I get in that room with other billionaires and they'll all be like, poor little guy, you're saying $1 million business in 3 years. Come on, that's a waste of your time. But that's that whole thing is like every time you get to a new level, you think on a bigger level, and then all of a sudden the world unlocks and you can't unsee what you just saw. So, and the last thing I'll say about this, Ben Kenny used to put on the seminar that I went to when I first started in real estate. Mm-hmm. And I was just cleaning out one of my bookshelves and I found this thing, like literally the first month I was in, and I was in ministry, man, I was making no money. I was like literally at the poverty line. And it said on there, write down what your dream number was. And I wrote down a number, and because I guess I was fearful, I don't know, there was whatever, I crossed it off and wrote down a smaller number.
Yes, I know.
And the crazy thing is, I showed my wife and I was like, look at this. I was like, this was my crazy stretch number. And now I make 3 times what that stretch number was that I crossed off because it was too much. And that, brother, is the whole thing where you start learning to think bigger, and you realize that like your small thoughts will keep you captive to a small life, and you got to think bigger.